Alright, hello, it's Agent 1611, and I saw, here in my chicken coop, my chickens are all in for the night, but I saw something on a website that I subscribe to about keeping chickens, and it was how to keep their water thawed during the winter. And I have to admit, I'm a little dubious about whether or not this will work, but the concept is to dig a hole in the ground, and actually I won't show you right now, but to dig a hole in the ground, fill it with manure, fresh manure, put your water pail in there and surround it with the manure and sink it down into the ground and fill your water bucket up with that. And the manure, composting is supposed to keep the water warm, or from, at least from not warm, but from freezing. Now, here's my concern, and I actually saw some other people concerned about this. I'm concerned about the cleanliness of the water because it's going to be at ground level, and chickens are filthy when they're in an enclosed area. And so I want to see, number one, if it doesn't freeze. Number two, I want to see if it stays clean enough for them to drink, because I think they're just going to scratch all sorts of garbage into it and it's going to be a mess. That's what I think. I'm going to put it up above the ground a little bit, but I mean, seriously, with their scratching and everything, I just think it's going to be full of garbage. So I'm going to dig it right here by the edge of the fence, and I'm going to dig it deep enough to put a 5-gallon bucket in there with about 3 inches above the surface, and we're just going to see how this goes. So stay tuned. Now, as I pick up my pickaxe and shovel, it is occurring to me that this ground is full of stones, and will I be even able to get a hole that deep easily? But we'll see how it goes. Digging in frozen ground is always such a joy. But once you get down below the frost line, should be okay, or easier. Okay. So because it's so dark out here, I have to get a light, but just to show you, the hole that I've dug is actually deeper than the bucket, so I'm going to fill it up with probably about 6 inches of chicken manure, and then we'll put the bucket in and fill it with water. Don't ask me why I'm doing this under cover of night, because I get home late. There's our first thing of manure. Let's see if good, actually. So what I'll do is I'll fill that around the outside with manure too, and do this thing. Yeah. All right. Already can't see my face, but here I am. Here's the hole. I got a 5-gallon bucket of water. Gonna set it in there, and then we're gonna fill it around the outside with chicken manure too, and then probably top off the water. Now, I read in the article that even, gotta keep that up, even in 0 temperatures, the water only got a thin sheet of ice on it. See, already, just trying to do this, I'm getting garbage in it. That's not good. But do the best I can. Level this out just a little bit. Might need to get some more manure. which by the way is not freezing because it's inside the coop and right now it hasn't gotten that cold to freeze it solid yet. So by virtue of that, tells you that that's kind of working, but we'll see what it does with the water. All right, yeah, I need to get a little more manure. All right, let's put this off. Get some manure. Okay, so push that down. Get a little more near the edge. Push it down. I still think that this thing's just gonna fill up with dirt from the chickens scratching around so much. Well, we'll see. See, just a little flick. I already got something in there. Yeah, I don't like that. But we'll see. Some person was like, oh, I use sand in my coop, so it's not a big deal, my run. I'm kind of like, yeah, sand, but they also poop in there too. It's a little soft there. All right, so the real trick will be, that's it, you can't really see it. All right, let me bring you up close. And let's see if I can. All right. There we go. So this is the system. I'm trying to see if I got a good, clear shot here. Here we go. So that's got full of water. It's surrounded by manure, and we'll see how that goes. Oh, you can't see me at all. Okay. So tomorrow I will check and see if this water froze. I'm a little dubious, but we'll see. Hello. In the morning. And so I actually came out last night to see about this water thing. And there was about a ½ inch of ice on the water. So it's not working exactly as described. But it was only a ½ inch, so it's not that bad. This morning there's definitely ice on it. It's about 18 degrees this morning. And so, yeah, there's a pretty good thing of ice on it now. So it's still about ½ inch, 3/4 inch of ice on there. But one thing I realized that I forgot to do is they said to wet the manure that you put in there, and I did not do that. So I'm going to do that right now. Although it's probably going to make it an icy mess now because of how cold it is. But I am gonna wet it on the outside. I did use warm water, so it'll get more time to thaw. But it's only kind of working. It's really not working at all right now. So. It's not keeping it unthawed, but maybe the manure is too composted. But I don't know. It's an interesting concept, but right now it's not working for me. So we'll maybe do, now that we've wet it, I'm gonna fill it back up with water to the brim and see how that works. And but I kind of don't think this is gonna work. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I know they said to use fresh compost, which I used stuff that was right from underneath their roost. But it was probably mixed in with some that was composted, so maybe it's not fresh compost, fresh manure. But I don't know. Plus, there's definitely some dirt got kicked into there, so I don't like that either, because then it's just dirtying their water. Right now, I'm not super impressed with this method. Hello, it's Agent 1611 in my chicken coop again, looking at my anti-freezing water situation. So this is the situation, and it's pretty frozen on top. And actually, because it's been in the single digits this last few days at night, that looks like it's got several inches of ice on it. So I'm a little disappointed, but kind of what I expected as far as the functionality of this. I just don't see how you can keep the surface from freezing when the temperatures are this cold. So that's pretty solid. Now I'm gonna take something and break it up and see how solid it is. It looks a lot thicker than the last few days. The last few days like a ½ inch or so of ice. This looks like inches. So we're gonna see in a second here. All right, let's see if I can even break through this. Ah, yeah, that's a couple inches of ice right there. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna end up breaking the bucket. There we go. Yeah, that's 2 inches of ice. Yeah, so that's definitely, the bottom is thawed, but I mean, it's below ground, so what would you expect? But wow. Yeah, and that's obviously very cold. So, at this present time, I don't think it's worked. Now, I will say a few things. I forgot to wet the manure when I finished filling it, and also the manure might not have been as fresh as it could have been. So there's a few things to maybe tweak on this, but I was talking to a friend of mine down in Virginia, and he said that some of the things he's heard about, that you need a good amount of volume for compost to really start making heat as it decomposes. And there's probably a 5-gallon bucket full below the bucket, and then there's another 5-gallon bucket full around the bucket. But I don't think this is going to be successful. And plus the water's getting pretty dirty, which I expected. So I'm going to chalk this up to does not work. But I understand there's a few things I could tweak to try to see if I get it work better. My biggest concern was the dirtiness of the water, and that definitely has come to pass. So I can see the water's pretty grimy. I mean, look at that. So for now, this experiment did not work. I mean, it works to some degree. It slows down the freezing process, but at 5 degrees, which I know is not super cold for some of you, but at 5 degrees, it just froze into 2 inches of ice. That is a plane just does not work. So I don't know if I need a different kind of manure. I don't know if I need fresher manure. I don't know if it just plain does not work at all. But I'm definitely not. It's definitely not a success. So that's where we are with this thing. So until next experiment, this is Agent 1611. See you later.